through working. But so far, so good this week.
You think a game like that could be kind of an eye-opener? You know, you're coming off a huge shutout win, and you go on the road, and all of a sudden you're in a huge hole. Do you think it woke up the guys maybe?
I'm not woke up. We got to see how some players would respond in that situation, and I like the way we responded. We played hard. We didn't turn on one another. We didn't get down. We got to play better. But that part of it was probably the most positive thing coming out of the game. We played 60 minutes.
Coach, what's the biggest improvement you're hoping to see in this game based from last week heading into conference play now?
Consistency, just overall consistency out of our coaches and our players. A little more focus. I think the fact that we viewed it as a big game, our players were kind of up and hyped, kind of got in the way of consistent play. And then the number one thing we got to learn is being fired up, being anxious to play is not always a good thing if you can't stay focused. So we got to focus and play the play call.
You talked after the game on Saturday about miscommunications in the secondary. What kind of things can be done to kind of correct some of those problems?
Repetition, going over it in film, communicating better, trying to correct those mistakes, make sure they don't happen again.
Were there particular breakdowns that you saw in the secondary, especially in some of those third down plays, so the third and long, where they were able to convert? And what were those?
Well, that's just it. There was bust, and there was players that didn't play proper technique or didn't get in the proper position. Those are coaching errors and coaching areas that we have to correct.
Is Brandon Thomas, is he?
I'm not going to talk about anybody's health ever again, as long as I'm here. I think the other teams know way too much about us, and we don't know a damn thing about them. Can you say damn on TV?
Mine, you can.
Okay. As long as it's not followed by a bunch of other explicit.
All right, Coach, being able to play at home again this weekend and not dealing with the tropical storm, you know, you look forward to getting the guys out there in front of what should be a big crowd?
I hope so. I haven't really kept up with the ticket sales that closely. I hear there are still some available, but we're expecting a big crowd. We were wanting that and welcoming that the first game. The weather just didn't allow it. For all practical purposes, we're kind of viewing this as our home opener, and we were looking forward to a big crowd. We're looking for a great game day.
Any kind of changes going into this weekend compared to the first 2 weeks that you're trying to tweak on some stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Coach.
Do you feel like other teams know more about you than they should? Do you think did that have an effect on the game side of it?
I don't know if it had an effect on the game day Saturday. I think it's just after every week I'm going to try to look to see what areas we can improve, what we can do differently to help our team. And I thought we had a lot more going out than we had coming in, and it was something that is first and foremost when I make a decision. I always try to make a decision based on what I think is best for the football team.
Is that what led to the closing of practices?
Yeah, I think that the players and the coaches need to go out and coach and play and practice and work and not have to worry about getting critiqued during the week. We're going to get enough of that on Saturday, and we should. But during the week, we need to be focusing on correcting mistakes and improving and focusing on the opponent that we have. And so that's what we're going to try to do.
Coach, the Incarnate Word College has good running back and pretty good secondary. How do you think we're going to fare against that in good dry weather?
From a defensive standpoint, looking at them, they really changed from the first game to the second game. It looked like they made the commitment to run the football and keep their defense off the field, and they did just that. They ran for over 300 yards. Their running back had over 200 yards. They kept their defense off the field, shortened the game. They controlled the line of scrimmage and did a good job. When the defense was on the field and was fresh and healthy, they moved around and played a lot better than they did the first week. What they'll try to do this week, you know, coaches change plans from week to week, but looking at them from an offensive standpoint, looking at their offense, if we got to control their running game and not give up the big plays. Offensively, we need to control the line of scrimmage, and we need to do to them what they did to their opponent last week. We need to control the game.
With that point on controlling the offensive line, do you feel that our team is starting to gel as a unit?
Well, we need to. We need to get better every week. These 3 games, we want to win all 3 of them. They're very important to us, but they're not as important as conference games. These 3 games are to get us ready for conference play. And we need to take another big step this week, because this will be our last opportunity before we play in a tough Southern Conference. And so we need to improve as a team.
Well, Andre be the starter?
Don't know, come out Saturday and find out. That goes for all positions. And then after the game, y'all can ask me who did what, when, where, and how. You're late, take a lap.